T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Global Watchmen News Live broadcast. If you are new, please hit the subscribe and bell button. If you are in the live chat, please keep the discussions family friendly. Thank you. We are now live on Global Watchmen News, Global Watchmen News 2, and Exposing Satanic World Government. So if you are in any of these chat rooms, please give this a share right now. This is not a family friendly show. So if you end up hearing any odd curses or anything there, we do warn you. Please don't be offended, but it is the way it is. You know, we are adults in the room, and we are going to be giving you adult content tonight. So tonight, myself, Rabbi D, live with my glorious co-host, Laurie Swan, I should say. How are you doing?
I'm good, Robbie. How are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I
think it's funny that you had to say that last little bit because we're all adults. Come on.
Yeah, we're all adults in the room. So, you know, if anybody decides they want to have a hissy fit because they heard the odd curse word that might have slipped out of somebody's mouth, then I'm sorry about your luck, mate. So,
you know, the last broadcast, I think I might have said, I don't even know. I didn't drop an F-bomb or anything. I don't know what offended anybody, but Hey, here's what it is.
Right, but we are going to we are going to set up a GoFundMe swear box fund, yeah. And you're welcome to donate every time you might hear here and there. You know what I mean? So we'll try and keep it. We'll try and keep it on the level, yeah. But yeah. On, someone's told me we're reading the wrong Bible. Oh, somebody's telling someone they're reading the wrong Bible. No, we read the KJV, King James Authorized. Yeah, and if it's a 1611, then so be it. And if it's an Authorized edition, so be it. Anything else? If it's not KJV, kick it over.
That is a whole nother show, my friend.
That is a whole nother show indeed. But tonight, I don't know if anyone's been watching the news or been watching what's going on, but there are some really, really, really disturbing things going on. For some people, it's business as usual. It really is.
Well, I mentioned this to Dave earlier, and he's like, "Well, this is nothing new. This has been happening since the 6-Day War." He says this is like a monthly thing. But I think we're seeing. I found a article, and I'm just going to read what it says. It says tensions have been building up since the start of Ramzan in mid-April, when Israeli police set up barricades at the Damascus gate outside the occupied Old City. On Monday, which was yesterday, Israeli armed forces stormed I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. They stormed the mosque in Jerusalem ahead of the march by Zionist nationalists commemorating Israelis' capture of the eastern half of the city in 1967. More than 300 Palestinians were injured in the raid. In retaliation, Hamas, the Islamic militant group that runs Gaza, fired dozens of rockets. The Israelis launched an airstrike on Gaza in response, killing at least 21 Palestinians, including 9 children. What is behind this current escalation? Well, tensions have been building up since the start of Ramzan in mid-April, when Israeli police set up barricades, like I said, at the Damascus gate outside the occupied Old City, preventing Palestinians from gathering there. As clashes erupted, the police moved the barricades, but tensions were already high. The threatened eviction of dozens of Palestinian families in the East Jerusalem neighborhood escalated the crisis further in the last week of Ramzan. Clashes erupted on the night of May 7th in Jerusalem between Palestinian protesters and Israeli police, in which hundreds of Palestinians and over a dozen Israeli police personnel were injured. The Israeli authorities had given permission to the Jerusalem Day March, traditionally taken out by far-right Zionists through the Arab quarter of the Old City. Ahead of the march on May 10th, Israeli armed forces stormed the mosque with rubber bullets, stun grenades, and tear gas to evict the Palestinians who Israel said had camped with stones and Molotov cocktails. Hamas issued an ultimatum to the Israeli troops to stand down. By the evening, they launched rockets. Israeli strikes followed, and that's where we are today.
Yeah. And I'm just going to play you this very, very briefly, just to give you a little idea of what happened when the exchanges started. As you can see the Iron Dome missiles intercepting the rockets that are coming down right now.
Right.
And it's been like that pretty much since yesterday. I watched a live stream of a certain channel that we're actually going to play some stuff actually in a minute. And it's been pretty intense. It really has been. It really has. So we're talking about between 700 and 1,000 rockets have been fired already. And they say here, just in Hamas and Islamic Jihad movement in Palestine just issued a new warning to Israel: destroy any more residential towers in Gaza, and we will destroy Tel Aviv. And that's they're not taking that threat lightly, because as what has happened is IDF have destroyed a high-rise block, you know, and you know, I don't really want to get into the politics of it too much, but you know, Palestine, or shall we say the Gaza Strip itself, is an open air prison. It really is. It has been since day one. And, you know, when you've got that many civilians all together, all bunched up, all in that thing, you know, in that small little area. I mean, Israel itself is just a strip of land when you look at it, yeah. But when you look at Gaza as a whole, the population that is in there, all together, the civilians and whatnot, yeah, it's not a good thing. And I can tell you now, the one thing that really woke me up was the Operation Cast Iron Lead. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. It was, I think it was about 25 days or something like that. It was continual, non-stop bombardment of Gaza that I watched 24/7 on Al Jazeera, believe it or not. You know, it was round about the time, that time just before the Arab Spring, which I really didn't have any idea about at the time, but it was part of the awakening, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and ever since then, everybody that started to wake up's viewpoint of the whole situation began to evolve and change. Yeah, we always saw Palestine as the aggressor. Yeah, you know, as the you know, the terrorists, right? But when you see it in real time and then you start assessing the situation, you know, it's like, well, isn't that what the big army calls the little army? Yeah, calls the little army terrorists, right? You know, okay. And it wasn't the fact that it was who was right and who was wrong in the situation. I was seeing atrocities taking place in a real time, yeah. And at the end of the day, it wasn't really marrying up with the actual mainstream narrative that was being pushed. And it was the same mainstream narrative that's been pushed time and time again throughout the decades, yeah. And as I said, it was part of my waking up process. I started seeing certain things in a different light, and it wasn't because I chose to. It was because, you know, you see it and you're like, hang on, this isn't right. Something's not right here. We're not being told the truth. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, I don't want to get too political on this, but we have got bigger fishes to fry. But I will add, I did watch a live stream today of some Israeli live stream on Facebook, and this Israeli woman was describing things, and she was like, you know, we don't want war, we want peace, she said, right? And I made a couple of comments which were actually deleted. I was deleted, and I don't know if I was blocked from her live stream, right? But she said we wanted war. No, we said we don't want war, we want peace.
We want peace.
Yeah. And I said, you don't want war? I bet Mossad got a little chuckle out of that, didn't they?
And that's when the fight started.
And that's a wrap. Boom, 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 boom.
And that's when the fight started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as with the Arab Spring, we know now, looking back in hindsight's 2020, we know that was it completely and utterly planned out event, choreographed straight down to, you know, there was the provocateurs that were in the crowd. I mean, the Arab Spring was designed to basically murder the people that they did.
Right, basically, yeah. And I did watch all of it. Yeah, I watched it take shape. I can't remember if it was on Algeria or Morocco. I think it was Algeria or something like that. And then it progressed over to Egypt. Yeah, it was getting pretty wild then. Then it went over to Libya. Right, that's when the shit show started. That's when the narrative was being shaped. And then it progressed over to Syria, right, where, you know, we're here now in 2021, and that place is absolutely awful. Yeah, we've only just got to look at Aleppo just to understand that country has been systematically taken apart from the inside out.
Exactly. Somebody in the chat room, Charles Moore, yes, you're absolutely right. He's saying that the Ashkenazi Khazarians are not Israel. Absolutely. But we're not going to get into the Balfour Declaration tonight. We're not going to get into the illegal state of Israel. We're not going to get into the Zionists and their plan, after World War II. We're not going to get into any of that tonight. But you're absolutely right, Charles. And, it's nice to see that other people are awake to that, that deception, because it's a huge deception.
Well, isn't that Mossad's call sign? War through deception at any means?
By any means, right? By any means. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So let's take a look at, let's go back, because I know there's a lot of things that are happening right now. And we've been telling you guys to keep an eye on the Temple Mount.
Yep.
Apparently, Saturday or Sunday night, was it Sunday night? There was reports that came in that the Temple Mount was on fire.
Sure.
And a lot of people were jumping on live streams, and I know there's the Watchwoman. I know she went live, I believe, and there was a lot of other people that went live prematurely because apparently it was just a tree that started on fire.
Interesting.
But Robbie and I, we looked at the pictures, and that was an awful big tree. I don't care what anyone. But things are escalating there, and things are not looking like they are dying down. Can you want to pop up that video, the last video?
Right. Let me just look. See
here. The one I sent you that's written in Hebrew.
Yeah. Hold on a second. The Western Wall live camera. No. Let me just. I want to play this. It's only 1 minute. It's 1 minute. It's 1 minute and 7 minutes. Share screen. God, it's been so long since I've been on here.
I know, right?
Let's see if it's this one. No, breaking news. Let me just check. Got so many tabs here. Yes, this is the one. If you just bear with me a second.
No.
Many Americans stand with Palestine.
Oh.
Right. Yes. Right. Just check that's just come up there on the screen. Okay, let me just get rid of that. Yeah, there you go. Let me just play this a second. Yeah, I find this very, very, very interesting.
Lessons from the Nazis.
Rick, we can't say that now. The State Department they just changed their definition.
Oh, yes.
Yesterday.
What did I just do? All right. Yesterday, the State Department added the 11th commandment to that list of 10 items.
Definitions for anti-Semitism.
One of the new one they added yesterday said you cannot compare Israel to Nazi Germany.
Okay. Nazi-like activity.
Not Nazi-like activities. Yes. Excuse me.
All right. Mike Pompeo, everybody at State Department, listen up. The Israeli Zionists act like Nazis. Come and get me. Okay, I'm here. Come and get me. They act like Nazis. I'm not going to be told what I can say and what I can believe. I see the video of them shooting 14-year-old Palestinian boys. That's a Nazi. I don't care what their race is. I don't care who they claim to be. When you shoot 14-year-old boys in the head, you're a Nazi. Right? They oppress the Palestinian people. They steal their land. They rob them. They treat them like animals. Ben Gurion said, "We see the Palestinians as donkeys." That's how they view the Palestinians. And I will tell you, State Department, the Israeli Zionists are Nazis. That's my belief, and I have a right as an American citizen to express my views. And I can denounce tyranny any place in the world if I want to. I'm a free American, and nobody can tell me to shut up. The only way you're going to make me shut up is to kill me.
Well, now. Interesting. You're muted.
Very interesting indeed. It was very short, sharp, and straight to the point.
Yeah, very to the point, and he's absolutely right. And if people want to say, throw out the anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic, you need to actually be Semitic in the first place to be anti. The Zionists,
or shall we say Shemitic?
Right.
Yeah.
The Zionists were the ones that created that name and that label in order to accomplish what they're accomplishing now. Nobody's allowed to speak out against them. Nobody's allowed to say anything wrong, calling out their evils. Nobody's allowed to call it is what it is, the illegal state of Israel, the illegal state that was put there by the fake synagogue of Satan, Revelation 3:9, Revelation 2:9, where it talks about that. So
yeah.
Now this is a live shot of the wall, correct?
Yeah, it's correct. This
Okay.
This is live right now.
The problem with that is, and I do have a problem with it because one of the other live streams that we have are lying. Either this one's not real and it's lying, or the one showing the bombs going off right now is lying.
Right.
Because one of them is.
Looks pretty quiet.
It looks pretty quiet.
And those two people that are walking down in the corner, they've been there for quite a while. I'll be surprised if it's not on a loop.
Can you pull up the other one that shows the attacks?
Yeah, if you give me a minute.
Okay. Go ahead. And I do apologize, guys. I'm still unable to pull up YouTube, any YouTube videos, any YouTube period. I can't pull up YouTube at all on my Chrome browser. It comes back. The monkey's still there with a wrench, says something's wrong. And the problem right now is that I am on my Google Chrome for the StreamYard. I can get on YouTube on my other browser, but I don't have StreamYard set up on it. So I apologize that things aren't pulled up right away, but that's the reason why.
Well, I'm just putting that up now.
For some reason, YouTube his ban is blocked, has done something to my IP address. I don't know what they've done.
Oh, Rutley seems to be. Let me just check that. Hang on. Right, okay. Rutley. I think this was a Rutley one. It's not just a. It's showing. Oh no, it's hideous. Let me just go back a minute before I. It's fun anyway. When you're saying about your being blocked and whatnot, I was sent a link to sign up for a private email server in which is based in Germany, and I went to sign up for it last night, and I got a message from it saying that my IP address was blocked. Yeah, and that warrants further investigation. I found that very interesting. Why is my IP address and my server blocked to a private email server that I've never even heard of before?
Because your email server or your IP holder, the whoever you use for your internet, is tracking you, and they don't want you to go somewhere else.
No, it's either that or they're either watching me. They've been watching me, and yeah. So anyway, let's have a look here. It's not live. It was live. I think they've stopped recording on it now. Let me just see now. Live Old Jerusalem. Yeah, we'll put a bit of audio on there as well. Yeah. And I'm just at the 3 hours and 46-minute mark.
Yeah, this was just recently.
Yeah, and this is what's going off in Jerusalem right now. Just press play on there. So many tabs pulled up, people, so just bear with us.
Oh, we're good. Now this is the IDF.
And this isn't, I don't think this is even including the forced evictions that are going on right now, which has basically sparked the whole thing off anyway. And apparently, according to the UN, right, what they're doing is turning them out to war crimes, forced evictions in Jerusalem. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? They actually said it's a war crime. You know, will it make any difference? I don't think so.
Right.
How many resolutions has Israel had put against them that have amounted to absolutely nothing? And it's all by design.
Absolutely, it is all by design. Selenium in our chat room, she said that she got her IP on Godlike Productions a few years ago. Me too. I cannot get on Godlike Productions at all. Haven't been able to since 2014.
Not for love nor money.
Nope, I can't get on Godlike Productions at all. Nope, won't let me on. Keep saying that I'm blocked. And I've sent numerous messages to the web host or the web master or whatever it is, and they don't even seem to know what's wrong.
Yeah. Somebody just made an interesting comment saying this is a war between Zionists and Rome. God's people are caught in the middle. It's not these people. There's a very distinct possibility that what we're watching here is not even the real Jerusalem, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's not the real Jerusalem, where the hell is it? Yeah. What are people doing on this land in the first place? Yeah. If they are not the chosen people, but claim to be the chosen people, you know. So we know that it says that Jerusalem will be trodden down by the Gentiles until the end, the time of the end times. Yeah.
So the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled, and that is at the second coming.
Right. Okay. So, if that's not the land, right, and the land happens to be on the continent of Africa, like we've strongly suggested in the past, it is being trodden down by Gentiles right now. Yeah. So, but also this place is being trodden down by Gentiles. Two sets of Gentiles. We've got the I'm just saying as it is, the Khazarians, yeah, right? The so-called Jewish people, right? Who have inherited lies, by the way. We're not gonna be beating up on you.
No,
yeah, because at the end of the day, the people, both two sides of two sets of Gentiles, one set that have been lied to, another set that are basically caught up in a situation in a land that was given to them by the Romans, right? So what were the Romans up to, But then again, when we're looking at the Khazarian Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews, we're looking at Amalek, Rome, Edom, Chittim, it's all biblical there, people, right? At the end of the day, we couldn't give a shit. We couldn't give a shit about the land. It's about the bloodlines of the people. People are nations.
Right, it's the bloodlines.
Yeah, people are nations, not countries.
And people that don't think that bloodlines or the lineage is important, that's not. The Bible is all about lineages. The Bible is all about bloodlines. If it wasn't important, we wouldn't have a whole entire, I think, chapters and chapters about who beget whom. So we were just talking about Luke 21:24. It says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled." And that is at the second coming. That is when the Gentiles.
But those that were being led into captivity, right, fit into the curses of Deuteronomy 28 and the Leviticus, right? If you don't fit the curses, which way you try and cut it, you are not the people, right? If you did not end up going to other lands in slavery, if you didn't end up going back into Egypt, now Egypt, right, the terminology of Egypt, right, is bondage, right? The real actual name of the land of Egypt was Mithrael, yeah, not Egypt. Egypt means bondage, yeah. So if you didn't go into bondage, right, you're not the people, right? So these people, unfortunately, don't fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28 because basically, even though they've had a bit of a rough time over the history, which some of it was of their own making, yeah, they're pretty prosperous. Also, it also says that when the Israelites return back to the land, there will be peace. Well, I'll ask you the question: do you see peace right now? Have you seen peace?
No, there has never been peace here.
There has never been peace in that land since they returned, right?
No.
So either the Bible's lying, which I doubt it very much, or somebody else is lying.
Exactly. While we're watching this, Robbie, I think I'm going to read the Albert Pike letter to Manzini.
Okay.
You guys know Albert Pike, who he was. He was a 33rd, actually he was a higher degree Mason. He released quite a few books. He released basically the secrets, you might say, through his books. But he wrote a letter to Manzini, and I'm going to read this to you. It's called Albert Pike and the Three World Wars. Albert Pike received a vision, which he described in a letter he wrote to Manzini, dated August 15, 1871. This letter graphically outlined plans for 3 world wars that were seen as necessary to bring about the one world order. And we can marvel at how accurately it has predicted events that have already taken place. And this is his letter. It is a commonly believed fallacy that for a short time the Pike letter to, oh wait, that's not it. Where is it? Here it is. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the Tsars of Russia and of making that country a fortress of aesthetic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. Students of history will recognize that the political alliances of England and on one side and the Germany on the other, forged between 1871 and 1898 by Otto von Bismarck, co-conspirator of Albert Pike, were instrumental in bringing about the First World War. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would then be restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. After the Second World War, communism was made strong enough to begin taking over weaker governments. In 1945, the Potsdam Conference between Truman, Churchill, and Stalin, a large portion of Europe was simply handed over to Russia. And on the other side of the world, the aftermath of the war with Japan helped to sweep the tide of communism into China. And here's where we get into the good stuff, the Third World War. Because we already know that if you look at his letter to Mazzini, you'll understand that the First World War and the Second World War played out to the letter.
To the T. And you got to remember, people, this letter was 70 years before the First World War, right? So, you know, it hadn't even... all this, if you'd have read this to someone and say, yeah, this is what's going to happen, they'd be going, well, what are you on about? Yeah?
Right.
Some of these things, some of these places, these institutions, these people, they don't even exist at the minute. Yeah. So, you know, if you've got a really good imagination, or you've got some foresight into something that is being planned right to the letter.
To the letter.
Carry on.
The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world.
Interesting.
Let me read that again to you.
Yeah, read it again.
The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effects of absolute atheism, origin of slavery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then, everywhere, the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for the ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time.
Yeah. So let's just go back a minute. Yeah, it says we shall unleash the nihilists. And this is from the word nihil, which means those that believe in nothing. Yeah. So basically, a nihilist would be classed as an atheist, right? An atheist would be classed as somebody who you've maybe seen in the last year or two going out, especially in America or anywhere in the world, going out and protesting, going out and being part of certain movements, say like Black Lives Matter or Antifa and things like that. Yeah, these things are not organic, people. Yeah, in fact, as I said on the show previously, somebody I was speaking to on Facebook a few days ago asked me, do I support Black Lives Matter? Yeah, and I told you what my answer was. I don't support anything that tells me what and how to think. Yeah, I'm not that creature. I'm not that brother. Yeah, right. I believe in life matters. Yeah, and yeah, Black lives do matter. So all other lives do matter. Yeah, right. I don't need to be told to join a movement to perpetuate something that is designed to divide and actually put Black lives in jeopardy, not actually elevate them. It's a plot device. Yeah. But digressing again, going back to this, you know, what we are seeing at the minute is the unleashing of the nihilists, yeah? And we'll see the people that don't believe in that, and all they believe, their television and their news is God. It is absolute. It is the power supreme. They don't do anything or think anything without the news telling them to. So what they're doing right now with the news coverage, obviously, of what's going on right now is the same old script, same old story. Laurie said at the beginning of the show, yeah, it happens every 6 months, and it does happen every 6 months. It's all by design. It's perpetual war, right? It's a war of attrition.
Whittling down, slowly whittling you down, slowly just, you know, just making life, I mean, unstable. It's unstable in that area, and it's been since the Six-Day War. Right.
So Laurie read something very interesting yet again. It said that those disillusioned with Christianity, which I will say is a construct in itself, right, which has been designed. It's not only, listen, move the scriptures away to one side, right, and put Christianity in the box. Christianity was created, like all the other religions were created, in order to be destroyed. Yeah, you could even say it's a new world order religion, right? Not the belief in the Bible itself, right, but the actual institutions of Christianity was created in order to be dismantled at some point in the future, while the future has arrived. Yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to destroy Christianity, as they're going to destroy Judaism, yeah, which is a created religion, yeah, and Islam.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock, and Islam, which is another new world order created religion, along with the other religions, and they're not only going to be dismantled and merged into the one world religion, they're going to be beaten to death, literally, in the eyes of the world. They are, as far as the new world order is concerned, they've had their day in the sun. right? So, when you see all these atrocities that have been committed throughout history by Christianity or Islam or any other religion that have all clashed with each other, yeah, that is going to be used as the scapegoat, as the well, this is what's happened, yeah, we don't want it anymore, right? We want something new, right? So what they will do is put the new doctrine on the table, which we told you, the Nazara and Jasara will be part of it as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And basically what it will be is the pure doctrine of Lucifer, right? And in order to do that, they're also going to expose the Satanic New World Order, right? The Satanic New World Order is going to be the scapegoat. On top of that, it's going to be the icing on the cake, and the New World Order religion is going to be the meat in the glue in the whole thing. It's going to be the meat in the sandwich. It's going to be the whole thing. Without the New World Order religion, the one world religion, none of the other components, the one world order, the New World Order, one world government, the one world army, the one world currency, none of it will actually matter, because without the one world religion, none of it will work. And this is what
I should have pulled up that video from the other day that we both watched. We both watched independently, but yet we both talked about it because it's a 5-hour video. But this guy talks about the new religion, the one world religion that's coming out. Back in 2014, we called it Chrislam because it was going to be the merging of Christianity and Islam, and. But it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It now encompasses the New Age. Do you guys even notice how much New Age crap is being put into our Christianity? I mean, a few years ago, we never would have heard of these women out there claiming to be Christian witches. Really? I mean, literally. I mean, there's just so much. There's religion's becoming so convoluted at the moment.
Yeah. And yes, we can put the link up to the. It's a 5-hour thing. It was I'll
have to find it.
It's an X Factor winner, Australian X Factor winner. 5 hours explaining basically everything that we know. But it was quite refreshing to see it from somebody who really doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, I will put it up there. Yeah, people. I have something that I want to ask you now. In the article that I read when we first started, it talked about the Damascus Gate.
Yes.
And I thought it was interesting because in Isaiah 17, we're talking about the destruction of Damascus.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, because I've always thought it meant Damascus as in the city of Damascus. But I guess I never really put the two together, that there was the Damascus Gate in Israel.
There is that as well. Damascus will be it'll be a ruinous heap.
Right. Isaiah chapter 17.
Even though it started to be that, it hasn't yet. It's still a functioning city at the moment, right? So it hasn't completely happened yet, but it's on its way. Then again, like I've said, right, and people don't quote me on this, but it's worth looking into, that even Damascus and Syria is not where it's supposed to be. Right. The whole of the Middle East region, and now this is in my opinion based on research that I've done.
No, it's actually based on archaeological evidence.
But archaeological evidence can be transplanted.
It can, and that's the first phase of Project Bluebeam, finding things in places that they weren't supposed to be, that have us questioning our religions.
Yeah,
that's the first stage of Project Bluebeam.
Now, Truth Unveiled produced a series of videos about true biblical locations, which is basically food for thought. I'm not saying it's absolutely true, but at the end of the day, if you can produce the evidence, then if the map fits, then you must have quit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're exactly right. Well, you know, we've been hearing a lot about what's going on in Israel. You guys, we brought you. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Nope, that's not the right one. We told you a few months ago about this, and ever since this, we've seen things ramping up there. Israel rabbi says he's holding meetings with the Messiah. Well, we know the Messiah is not Yeshaya HaMashiach. It is not. It is going to be the Antichrist. Because, well, that's who they're waiting for. They killed the Messiah.
Yeah, well, they're not waiting. Well, they claim to have killed the Messiah. You know, even that claim is held in doubt, that they were the ones that killed the Messiah. Right. Yeah, anybody can claim to have claim to have killed the Messiah, but if your heritage didn't start there, or or anywhere there, started somewhere else, how could you have killed the Messiah if you're not the people?
Bottom line is their religion denies the existence of the Messiah, is Jesus Christ, Yeshaya HaMashiach, as the Son of God, as the person who died on the cross, who suffered, died, was raised up on the third day, and ascended into heaven. That is what they deny. To them, to their religion, not only to the Islamic religion, but also to the Talmudic and I want to say Luciferian believing Jews is the fact that they have Christ, they have Yeshaya in some pretty disgusting places. Let's just put it that way. I don't even want to go into it. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
That's right. And when we talk about Christianity and Christians, people, you need to research this. There were Christians 200 years before the birth of Christ. Yep. Serapis Christus. You look into it.
As a matter of fact, in that time frame, after Messiah was crucified and all that happened, to be labeled a Christian was derogatory. It was an insult. It was something that was, it wasn't something to be proud of. It's
That's right. That's absolutely correct. People need to know your history. You need to know exactly what it is as a basis to be able to refute these lies and twisted, whitewashed histories that have been put on us by Rome, basically. And Satan's been quite busy. He's been very busy throughout the ages. You got to be really on the ball with this, and it's all there. For how many years now we've been showing people this stuff?
Myself personally, since January. Well, no, I would say since November or December of 2013, I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And that's just going public with what I know. I mean, I've been researching since the late 1970s. So, but just publicly, November or December 2013.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's a bit of an argument going on Facebook right now. The old adage about Christ being white or black. Listen, at the end of the day, right? Let me just put it in a way that you understand, right? The world has been given an image of a false Christ, right? Based on Cécile Bourget, right? It just so happens that he's white, right?
He's the
the hippie Jesus with the sandals, the long hair, and the blonde blue eyes and blonde hair. Yeah. Well,
the Bible tells us that Joseph and Mary took Jesus and hid him in Egypt. Now, if he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian male, he sure the hell stood out like a sore thumb in Egypt.
That's right.
Bottom line.
Absolutely correct. Yeah. And there's there's evidence upon evidence upon evidence that the Egyptians, the Hamites, were the progenitors of the dark races, of the region, except the Negroes, right, were all black. It was one of the reasons why Napoleon ordered his troops to go into Egypt, into Cairo, and shoot the noses off the sphinxes as soon as they arrived. They didn't go there and do that when they saw it. They were ordered to go there and do that because they don't want the general public, who may one day have the technology to have things like the internet to show you the truth, wanted you to know. So they not only did that, but they took the noses off all the statues.
Right.
And then when the Renaissance came, the Renaissance was there to whitewash all the paintings. Unfortunately for them, somebody didn't get the email or the memo in Russia, right? Because they've still got paintings of a black Messiah and a black set of Israelites. So somebody didn't send them the memo. Yeah.
Yes, somebody didn't get the memo. Somebody's just not on the same page. Yeah, you look at it and you just, I mean, using common sense, basically.
Yeah. And basically the reasoning behind this is, right, is that because of the system that the system of white supremacy, which didn't exist until a certain time, and the system of white supremacy was put into place to not only benefit the 1%, yeah, not the rest of the population, yeah. It was a system of oppression and subjugation for all races, even though it was particularly put upon people of color, yeah, to keep them into subjugation. It's all biblical, right? Yeah, all of it, yeah. It all falls into the narrative, but the end result is that the end time deception is that a lot of the world that has believed that Christ is a white Caucasian man, right? When they find out that he doesn't exist and never existed, but the true Messiah of the Bible turns up, a lot of the world will reject him based on the system that they've been indoctrinated into, and it's not their fault. But at the end of the day, it is going to cause so much pain and confusion because they're going to go, hang on a minute, hey, that's not my Jesus. Who are you? Yeah,
Right.
and you want to fight, mate? It's going to be the last.
And this is how it's going to make it so easy to deceive people when the Antichrist comes, when Project Bluebeam puts this image of this Cesar Borgia image up on the screen. People are going to believe it. They're going to fall before his feet, and
and all you people that turn around and go, well, I don't care about color. I don't care about what color he is. You better grow yourself. You better grow up. You better stop that right now, because believe you me, the color does matter. Not because of the skin color, yeah, but because of the identity of him and the people, right? Because if you believe that the people in the land right now who claim to be God's chosen people, if you believe they are the people, unfortunately,
they're not.
You've lost the game before you even started to play it. Yeah. If you actually find out who the actual people are, then you can understand who was scattered across the four corners of the earth. Yeah, and who will be the 144,000 who are. And this was asked to me today, who the 144,000 is. I said, "What do I have any insights on that?" Well, yeah, I've got an insight because it's in the book. It tells you that it's going to come from each tribe, 12,000 from each. Yeah, from every tribe of the house of Israel, the lost sheep. They're not lost. We know who we are. Yeah. It's just that we've been scattered. They've been scattered across the four corners. And believe you me, Israel is waking up. The true Israel is waking up right now. Right? And the media can't spin it. Governments can't carry on lying about it, because one day there's going to be a point in time when the whole world is going to find out exactly who the true children of Israel are. Yeah, we put it up on ESWG. I put up something today. Actually, it was a 6-minute reel, right? And as I said, it's not about color. It's about identity. It's about heritage.
It's about
right?
lineage. It's about bloodlines.
Yeah, because the Bible, right, unfortunately, is not a Christian book. It is the true historical documents of the true children of Israel. Yeah, you can cut it any way you like. You can
Color is going to be relevant because when the false Messiah comes, people are going to believe it because he's going to look like the indoctrinated image that we have been conditioned to believe that he looks like. Caesar Borgia, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, light-skinned, Anglo-Saxon looking being that we have, that every Catholic grandmother has up on her wall.
Yeah, but then also there's a caveat. Yeah, if you identify as Israel, right, just because you say you're Israel, don't mean nothing, right? Because 2/3 of Israel are going to be destroyed off the bat anyway, because they're wicked. Yeah, the Most High ain't going to be dealing with that. Yeah, it's those that are going to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and through the Son, through Yeshua, who's going to be coming to actually bring the new covenant, which is going to be the thing that's going to happen for 1,000 years when he comes. When people think, oh, when Christ comes, it's all over, it's all done, everything's good. No, that's just the beginning. Yeah, we got another 1,000 years after that. This is just the beginning, right? So when all this happens, right, when the true Messiah comes, the true Messiah of the Bible, not the Christian hippie, lovey-dovey, I love everybody, everything's good, Jesus, yeah, which isn't his name, by the way.
He's
right?
not coming to bring. He's not coming to bring in love and you know and he's not going to come and sing kumbaya with everybody. He's coming. He's bringing the sword. He's mad. He's coming with a vengeance, with wrath. That is when the wrath of God will rain down on this planet.
Yeah, and like it says in the Old Testament, anybody that actually wants the day of the Lord or the day of Ahia is a fool. Yeah,
is a fool.
It's a day of darkness, not a day of light. Yeah. So like I just said, I'll just finish this point. When Israel goes into the wilderness, right? 1/3 is going to go into the wilderness. Only 10% is going to make it out. Yeah, because it's going to be like a weeding out process. Yeah. So if you think that it's bad for them, imagine what it's going to be like for you, being a Gentile. Yeah. You're supposed to cleave onto the house of Israel, because salvation comes through Israel first. First it's to Israel, right? And then to the Gentiles, right? That's the remnant of the Gentiles that are going to cleave onto the house of Israel. You've got to remember there's going to be 144,000 that is going to be part of the ruling government of Christ when he comes to set up his government here. Nobody's going to heaven, by the way. Christ is bringing his kingdom here. Right, so then you have the untold multitude, right, which is going to be trillions of people. We're not just talking about people that are alive now that are going to make it, right? We're talking about anyone that's ever lived and died that believed in the Messiah or were part of the old covenant, you know, that were doing their part. Yeah, we're talking about billions upon billions upon billions of people.
Everybody who's ever been alive.
Yeah, right. So this is basically the basis of what we are watching today. Yeah.
They're putting in position. They are putting things and aligning things to happen according to what Albert Pike told us. I mean, here's the thing, guys, is if Albert Pike laid out the plans for the First and the Second World War, and they came off to a T, like down to the letter, what makes us think that what he said about the Third World War isn't going to be coming to fruition also?
Yeah.
I mean, when you listen to him, I'm just going to, I'm going to read this again. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. We're seeing that right now. Exactly right now is what's happening with Palestine and in Israel.
Yeah.
He says the war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism, which is the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effects of absolute atheism, or origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere, the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will, from the moment he be without compass or direction, anxious for the ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. What they're saying is people are they're going to get so disillusioned with the fact of their religion, whether it's Christianity or Islam or Buddhism or whatever it is. They're going to get so disillusioned by this conflict that they're going to turn to the light of Lucifer.
That's right, and the seeds have already been planted.
And that's when the one world religion will come in and take over.
Yeah, along with a one world government, yeah, which is literally on our doorstep. And the thing is, right, with what's going on, we don't want to see death on any side. Yeah, we don't want to see atrocities on any side. We don't want to see fighting on any side. But unfortunately, yeah, if you deny the Son, you deny the Father, right? If you haven't got a firm foundation in the truth, which is the Bible, yeah, right, then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's doing what to who, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm sorry for your luck, yeah, because at the end of the day, you are being led by something which has got absolutely nothing to do with the Most High. Do you think the Most High is ordaining this? No, he's sitting back and he's watching and he's laughing and going, right, you carry on doing what you're doing, yeah? If you don't wake up to the proper truth, then I will wake you up. I will have what is coming unleashed unto you, yeah? And sorry about your luck, yeah? It's as simple as that. Because right now, he is not happy. He is not happy. But the world is waking up. That's the thing. Are you waking up? Are you waking up to the truth? Or are you about to take a side? Are you going to take the wrong side? Because there are many sides to this, but there's only one truth. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, even though the Bible is nothing about opinions, yeah? But one thing you're not entitled to is your own truth, right? And at the end of the day, you got to look back and you got to say, well, what did the Father say? Yeah? Yeah? It's not about what Christ said, right? Christ was doing his Father's bidding. What came out of Christ's mouth was what his Father said. It's what did the Father say? What did he tell you to do, right? Told you to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, and he told you to read that book, yeah? And he told you exactly what was coming, yeah? Remember, 70% of the Bible is prophecy, right? Over 2,000 prophecies have already happened, yeah? There's still a bunch of them that are unfolding right now. So what we're watching now is prophecy unfolding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so all you atheists and nihilists out there denying, well, the Bible was written by man and blah blah this and blah blah blah. Yeah, well, you carry on doing that, because if you see the truth, if you've been told the truth, right, and you reject the truth, you are going to have a delusion tailor-made for you. Yeah, he says he will send a strong delusion because you would not take the truth and you believe the lie. Just paraphrasing, yeah, right? Actually pulling up the scripture. He told you one of the most dangerous things that could be told to you, that if you reject the truth, a strong delusion will be put upon you. Well, right now, there's a lot of people out there that believe what you're watching here is authentic, yeah? That it's not an illusion, that it's real, right? And you'll be made to believe that. If that's what you want to believe, you carry on believing it, yeah? If you believe in Santa Claus or you believe in any stupidity in this world, right? He will make you believe that right up until the day of judgment, until the day Christ comes, until the day that judgment comes. Yeah, that's what you. That's basically, this is as good as it's ever going to get for you. Yeah, you are offered the chance of salvation. If you reject it out of hand, well, that's entirely up to you. But believe you me, if you don't know what a strong delusion is, well, you watch this space, because this is just one component of many, many, many deceptions that are going to be put upon us right up into the Antichrist reveals himself, the man of perdition comes onto the scene and makes the world love him. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. The world's going to follow it. It's going to absolutely love them because of the fact that we're going to be in such a depleted state, both spiritually, physically, economically, socially, politically. We're going to be in such turmoil that when he comes on the scene, he's going to come bringing peace. And that's what people are. Robbie and I have told you guys before that when this whole system comes, people are going to welcome it. They're going to demand it. It's going to be just like, we can't talk about that, but people are going to be demanding it. They're going to want change. They're going to want, so when he comes and he starts giving us, I can bring you peace. Well, what do you think people are going to do? Of course, they're going to bow down and worship him.
They'll be like,
the Antichrist cannot come on the scene with guns blazing. He cannot come on the scene as Lucifer himself. He can't do that, because he has to come on as the peacekeeper, as the loving, that's why we hear in the Bible that he's so charismatic that everybody loves him, is because he's going to come and he's going to give this peace. But the first half of it, some people say it's 7 years, some people say it's a few months, whatever it is, whatever that time frame is that you believe or that you think it is, that first half is going to be him love bombing us.
Oh God, it's going to be it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same thing as what the elite do when they use MK Ultra. Yeah. When they love bomb the child. Yeah,
exactly.
They're going to bomb you with so much love, adoration, give you everything that you ever wanted.
Yeah, that's the only word I can think of it that actually portrays what he's going to do. He's going to be love bombing us. That's how you create these MK Ultra people. That's how you break the psyche, is that you love bomb these people and you give them all of this love, and then you turn, and that's when the abuse starts. And that is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to come on, he's going to love bomb us, he's going to give us everything we wanted. We're going to beg for more. We're going to, not we, when I say we, it's not me, because I won't be, but people are going to bow down and worship at his feet and just praise him. And then
worship his image. Are they going to worship his image?
Absolutely.
The image of the beast and whatnot. Is he not going to bring peace to the world?
Absolutely, he will.
Is he not going to formulate a 7-year peace deal between?
Absolutely, he will.
Between the Israelis and Palestinians. It will effectively eliminate all conflict in the world, because all conflict in the world is all linked to this Middle Eastern conflict that's been raging on for decades and decades and decades. People are just fed up with it, had enough of it, they're sick of it, they're seeing it now, they're going, oh my God, not again.
They're going to be exhausted from the conflict. I mean, let's take a step back and let's pretend that we don't know anything about this Zionist state of Israel. We don't know anything about who really is there. We don't know anything about the synagogue of Satan. And let's just look at the people that are there. Let's just, for a moment, examine the turmoil that they're going through, the fear that they live in. Okay? These people go to bed every night wondering, are the bombs going to drop tonight? Are the missiles going to come in tonight? Are we going to wake up in the morning? That takes a physical and mental and spiritual toll on a person day after day, night after night. So you put that on a global level. Okay, put that on a global level, a mass extinction level event like a nuclear holocaust, nuclear war, nuclear exchange. Even a real something demic, okay, and you whittle down the people, they will welcome with open arms their savior. Only thing is, it's not the real savior, but they're not. And and there's so many people, Robbie, that we know that who are saved in Christ, who do know the truth. There's a lot of those people that are going to fall for it too. Why? Because they're just exhausted.
I've just had enough of this, I'll say. I need something new. Oh, look, somebody's come out of nowhere, and they've not only stopped the Middle East conflict out of nowhere, right? They've stopped all conflicts, but it doesn't stop there. Right. They've somehow turned off the weather. They've turned off the hurricanes and whatnot, and they've taken the chemtrails out of the sky, and they promised that they're going to make sure everybody's got food and everybody's got everything, right? Exactly. But the Bible tells you about lying signs and wonders.
Exactly.
Yeah, as if he could bring fire out of the sky on command. Well, that's going to be quite a magician's trick, isn't it? Yeah, right. And people are going to go, wow, this guy's amazing. Yeah. Oh my God, why didn't he come sooner? Yeah. Really? Well, we'll see what happens, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see how nice it is when he turns the tap off, because we know that 3.5 years into this 7-year peace agreement, yeah, Satan, yeah, who's orchestrating all this behind the scenes, yeah, breaks the peace agreement. Yeah, that's when the great tribulation gets underway. Yeah,
and there's a difference between tribulation and the great tribulation. There's a complete difference. The first half of it is tribulation, but we're not going to see the things in Revelation that we're told. But the second half is the great tribulation. Oh. Now that not to be mistaken with the wrath. The wrath is something completely different. That happens at the last trumpet.
Yeah.
That is when God's wrath will come down.
Yeah.
We're not going to experience God's wrath during the 7-year tribulation, or like I said, whatever you believe it to be. That time frame, that tribulation. And guys, I'm gonna have to break it to you. And if you decide to leave the broadcast, then so be it. Adios, and God bless you. But guess what? There is no golden ticket that's going to get you out of tribulation. Okay? In Matthew 24, the Bible tells us exact things to look at before Christ returns. The disciples asked him, what are we to look at before you come? And he told us everything. He never mentioned a rapture. He never mentioned being taken up. But you know what he did say? He did tell us that if somebody says that I come in secret, believe them not. No. So don't you dare call Christ a liar, because he said that he is not coming back in secret. Everybody is going to see him at the last trumpet.
The whole world.
We will not be here for the wrath, but we will be here for the tribulation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So, as we see, we've seen a fire outside the mosque, right? We know that their plan is that they want to build the third temple. We know the third temple is a spiritual temple, right? But the elite, the Illuminati, if you want to call them that, yeah, they want to manifest this into the physical realm, and they want to build a third temple, right, to mirror prophecy. Now, we already know that the foundations of the third temple has already been built. In fact, there's a structure underneath. We haven't actually got any film footage or any photographs to show you, but it's easy to be found on the internet. You can find that, no problem. Yeah, the foundations are already there. What they need to do is they need to build the actual temple itself. Now, unfortunately, the temple actually sits on the site of a mosque.
There you go.
There's the Al-Aqsa mosque there. There's the Dome of the Rock, right? So that's where you see the yellow lines here. That is where the temple, you see the temple there, right? That's what they want to build. And basically, the thing that's standing in its way is the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa, the mosque there, and it needs to go. Right now, we already said that there would be some event, something would happen, maybe a false flag, maybe an explosion, maybe a fire. We didn't take into consideration a fire.
No, we didn't. We did not.
No, we
take
didn't.
that into consideration.
No, what they're doing is they're firing rockets over into Jerusalem and over into Tel Aviv, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's not going to be a stretch that they'll turn around and either let one of these rockets fall on the area, or they will cause an incident that say, well, a rocket's just landed on there. It might even be an Israeli missile, for all we know. We don't know. But at some point, that Dome of the Rock needs to go. Right, they're not going to get the bulldozers in and the workmen to come and demolish it. That'll take too long. They need an event, right? Now, I can't say for sure, 100%, that this is the event right now that's taking place that will make it happen. But if it does happen, remember where you heard it first, right here. We're telling you that right now, this event, this situation, that's no different to any other situation that happens every 6 months, yeah, seems a bit different. There's something different about it. It almost feels choreographed, just like the rest of them. But this one, just watch, people. You need to watch. So we've got there you go. Next year in Jerusalem, sacrifices on the Temple Mount. Please elaborate, Laurie.
Okay, well, we know that that after Christ was crucified, he was the final sacrifice. He was the sacrificial lamb, the last one. God does not require sacrifices to himself anymore, and that has been done away with. Unfortunately, the Antichrist system of the Third Temple. The Third Temple is not biblical, guys. Okay, it's not. The Third Temple is going to be strictly for, not for the believers, but strictly for the Antichrist, for him to come into and to start these sacrifices again. These sacrifices are to Moloch. These sacrifices are the same sacrifices that when the Israelites came out of the desert after 40 years, they started back up again. Even after seeing and being so close to God and having Moses there, giving them the 10 Commandments, and I don't even know, but for them to go back and to break that covenant with him and to start the sacrifices to Moloch again, these are the same thing. This is history repeating itself. This is definitely something to watch for. The Israelites or the Jews right now, they are looking for is it the red heifer?
Yeah.
I believe it's the red heifer. They're waiting for it to be born for a sign. We've heard a lot of things about that. We've got the rabbi talking to the Messiah. We know that if he is talking to anybody, he's talking to the Antichrist. Now we have the sacrifices that are going to be taking place on the Temple Mount. And this article came out in April of 2019, so that was supposed to be last year. And I do believe last year there was a sacrifice.
Yes.
Actually, I think that's a picture. Now, I want to remind people, when we talk about the temple, they already have the altar. The altar that they did the sacrifice on last year is the exact same altar that's going to go into the third temple. They have the priests. They have already the hierarchy of the priests. They have them picked out. They already have their robes. They are ready to go.
They're ready to go. Yeah.
The only thing stopping them right now, is the Dome of the Rock.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're waiting for.
Yeah. But, just a formality. No inconvenience.
Just a formality.
Yeah.
It's
so
little things standing in the way.
So you sent me a live stream.
I did.
And I'm going to play a few moments of it. Yeah.
Our other apps, you can also get text alerts through our mobile app by going to blazingpress.com and clicking the community tab and downloading it to your phone, or you can go to our Telegram page and get push notifications to your phone directly through Telegram. And my links to Telegram are in the description. You can also go to my URLs, and it has all of our URLs there where you can connect. Also, if you're thinking about a donation, please do so. We also appreciate that. We're trying to set up our independent network there on our website. If we don't get Rumble, we're going to definitely go for the servers if we can get our chips. The chips are very hard to get these days. Did you hear how there's a shortage on chips? Very difficult to get chips. The prices are like 3 or 4 times the price. I'm scrolling back about 5 minutes. Look at this. Look at this. This is a replay about 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes. I'm just going to scoot it back to the front. That was within the last 5 minutes. That went on for about 3 or 4 minutes straight. That was a long barrage. Now, you can see in the background there, fires are still alight from some of the bombs. On the bottom there, you can see there's fires down there and some other footage. I'm sure there's going to be more incoming. This is probably going to go on for a while. The Israelis are not going to allow this to continue, and it looks like the Arabs, the Palestinians are continuing. And I'm going to say these are not just Palestinians. I believe that these are the front group of Iran. So you're going to see, I believe Iran is going to be blamed for a lot of what's happening right now. Some of these rockets that come into Tel Aviv and that they're trying to get into Jerusalem, I think it's their new rockets, right? These rockets are coming from Iran. And Israel's going to hold them accountable for all of that's happened here. And there's a good possibility we could see a conflict go down with Iran. You know, when all this was going on with Ukraine and the Donbass and all the troops that were being amassed, we told you guys that I said, I believe that Russia's going to back down, or at least going to hold off, and the Middle East was going to light up. And that's exactly what happened. The Russians pulled back. They didn't pull back their armaments. They just pulled back their troops. They left their armaments there and their security detail. They are coming back. I promise you, they are coming back to the front lines, and they're going to finish what they started. And they want enough chaos to throw the Biden administration off balance. And this is how they're going to do it. I believe they released the dogs in the Middle East. And that was the sense that I got. They were going to release the dogs. The Middle East was going to go up. And sure enough, you guys all remember me telling you, it's going to go down in the Middle East first. Oh, it looks like something else is happening here. Let's see. They're zooming in on something here. Oh, there goes some more missiles. There we go. Look, in the background. There you go. More missiles going up. You're going to be seeing it. See on the other feed there, the second feed is catching it too. And now this guy up at the top feed, he's going out there to catch it on his window. Now the left feed, I think, is Jerusalem. I think it might be Jerusalem, the left feed. It's their time of prayer, I guess. Uh-oh, here comes some more Israeli jets. These sound like jets. All right, I don't know if those are jets or if those are rockets. It sounds like they might be jets. Let me pull this down, it's too loud. I think it's jets coming in again. If you see big explosions, You know those are jet bombers coming or jet fighters coming in. Doesn't that sound eerie? There goes another rocket. Did you see that rocket up in the right-hand corner? Another one went up. Those might be rockets that you're hearing in the background. I'm not sure if they're rockets or they're jets. Where are you going to find this kind of footage on YouTube? All in one place? Yeah. If you see any feeds going on and people chatting and they're talking about this, tell them, hey, Lazy Press has all the best coverage. They always get the best coverage behind the scenes, pulling all the feeds together in one place. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful. Let them know. Oops, that is loud. Sorry about that.
Somebody mentioned Gog and Magog.
Is Moses in the house by any chance? Moses, are you here? If you're here, Moses, let me know.
Can you mute him
I think what happens is the Zoom chat kind of
One
bogged
sec.
down our feed last time.
Sorry about Gog and Magog.
Yeah, somebody was mentioning over on Exposing Satanic World Government, talking about Gog and Magog. Yeah, I do believe that we are starting to see Ezekiel 30, chapters 38 and 39 playing out. I do believe that we are also seeing Isaiah chapter 17, playing out. I think we're going to see, the Damascus is going to come into play. I do want to show you guys something that I pulled up here. Let me just pull it up real quick for us. Because he had mentioned something about the Middle East popping off, and he believed that things were going to happen in the Middle East. This just happened today, happened overnight. U.S. Coast Guard ships fired around 30 warning shots at Iranian fast boats in latest tense encounter. And this is in the Strait of Hormuz. And this is what happened to U.S. Navy. The U.S. Navy started fired warning shots at Iran. They're starting to get a little squirrely again. I think things are definitely need to be watched.
Yeah, but you see this, none of this could have happened with the Trump administration then, right? All this needed to get revealed with the Biden administration then, because they're part of the other side of the coin. Yeah. So the one has moved out of the way for the other to move in, right? They've been given the keys to the kingdom. Yeah, they're totally screwing it up royally. The world's watching, watching it all watching them and do that fall apart, whether it's the border on the Mexican US border, whether it's in the Middle East, or all over the world with the introduction of, they're talking about the Great Reset. Yeah, they're talking about Maxine being rolled out 4, 5, 6 times now, everyone getting their third, right? And you've got this great recipe for a massive clash and a catastrophe to happen. Yeah, people are waiting for an event to happen when the events are already happening around them. Yeah, this is already happening right now. Yeah, this is in real time.
It kind of reminds me of death by 1,000 cuts.
Yes, but these are big cuts. These aren't little slivers of little cuts.
But what I'm saying is it's happening all over the place. It's not just one place that's pop. It's like this whole thing. Because, I mean, we read twice now with Pike, these things have to happen.
Exactly.
And they're going to happen.
Well, they are happening.
We can't sit here and examine his letter and say, okay, World War I, World War II happened exactly the way he said it, and because he wrote it 70 years before or 40 years, was it 40 years before?
70 years.
Yeah, before World War I popped off. So he had insight as to how this is going to happen. So that we have to look at what he says. We have to watch what he says and realize that his words are coming to fruition right before our eyes, watching this take place. Islam and Christianity.
Yeah. So let's just have a couple of more minutes and then we'll move on, because he was just moving on to a different shot.
This is what we just saw happen. This is close-up footage of what just happened. That just happened. All right, let's look and see what else they got. These are all the recent attacks in Tel Aviv. The second wave of rocket attacks in Tel Aviv has started. This just posted. This was just in. Israel destroyed. This is the tower that they destroyed. This is a little bit better footage. A little bit better picture here. Let's just watch. Look at that. That was some little clearer footage there. There he goes. There he goes. Wow. That literally shook their building too. Those impacts are reverberate all the way out. Anytime you have a big explosion like that. So there's the media tower where the Gaza media has their headquarters. You want to take out that media. Looks like it's on fire there. Okay, there you go. That was the footage. And we showed you all that. Okay. That basically was tanks coming in. So the tanks are on their way to Gaza right now. So Israel is now sending tanks to the Gaza border. And they may be doing a ground assault. They may be going in. Who knows?
למרבה השמחה אין לנו נפגעים, אין לנו דיווחים על נפגעים, וכמובן הבשורה
Now this is live.
בת הרוגים מפגיעה ישירה בלוד, אין לנו דיווחים על נפגעים שלמעשה חטפו פגיעה ישירה, ואנחנו רואים את התמונות הקשות מלוד, ומבינים שבאמת הם כנראה או היו בחוץ או שלא היה להם מיגון. אני מניח שהדברים האלה יתבררו.
What you're watching is a complete and utter shit show, yeah, in real time.
בדקות האחרונות מדווחים הפלסטינים שישראל חיסלה בשכונת תל אל-עווה בתוך עזה את האח של סגן ראש הזרוע הצבאית של חמאס, מרואן עיסא הוא אחת
since yesterday. You can see it's quite a bit of land. And then here's another one showing, it's kind of, you can't really see it, but if you pull up the map of Israel, you'll see that pretty much all of it is in danger right now. Now this is live right now, right, Robbie? What was that blowing up at the top left?
Got another update on potential hack, another.
שלמעשה חטפו פגיעה ישירה, ואנחנו רואים את התמונות הקשות מלוד, ומבינים שבאמת הם כנראה או היו בחוץ או שלא היה להם מיגון. אני מניח שהדברים האלה יתבררו בהמשך. לגבי מה שקורה בעזה צריך לשים לב לשני דיווחים. בדקות האחרונות מדווחים הפלסטינים שישראל חיסלה בשכונת תל אל-עווה בתוך עזה את ואאל עיסא, האח של סגן ראש הזרוע הצבאית של חמאס, מרואן עיסא. מרואן עיסא הוא אחת הדמויות הכי בכירות בזרוע הצבאית של החמאס, אחד מהטרויקה נאמר, יחד עם מוחמד דף, יחד עם מפקדים נוספים, ואח שלו חוסל ככה לדברי הפלסטינים.
I'm sorry.
I'm just pausing it for 1 second, yeah? Someone's just put a comment up saying women and children live there. You people are disgusting, masochists, enjoying watching this. Do you really think I enjoy watching this? Do you really think I enjoy reporting on this? Do you honestly think I take any pleasure in watching innocent people being destroyed? Do you not understand the point of this broadcast? Have you got any idea? Or were you just making comments because of your feelings are getting a little bit disturbed? Well, like I told you, I've been watching this for decades and decades, and when it came to the conflict of cast iron lead, whatever it was called, not so many years ago. I was absolutely horrified, but I needed to see it to understand, because the mainstream media will not show you this. Yeah, people need to understand. People need to wake up out of your complacency. Yeah, because what's going to happen there is eventually going to come to you. Do you not understand? And on that note, I'm going to carry on, because at the end of the day, I just thought it needs to be cleared up.
Yeah, we are called to be watchmen. We are called to bring forth this evil, to show people this, to educate people, and to put this forth out there. We're not taking any enjoyment out of it at all.
לסיום, כאשר יש גם פרסומים טורקיים וגם פרסומים ערביים על כך שישראל דוחה פעם נוספת את ההצעה המצרית להגיע
That was the tower block. That was the tower block that they destroyed with the journalists inside.
All right, guys, really quick. I just got another update on potential hack. Another one that's happening right now. For anybody that knows the software Salesforce, it's a major software that millions of companies use, and specifically schools. And it is down. It is down. It is global. And people are, across the country. And people are confirming it in different places around the country right now that it's down. So for anybody that doesn't know what that software is, it's companies that use it in schools, and it's down. So they're saying, is this another one of the hacks? Another hack? What do you guys think?
מוקדים משמעותיים במיוחד היו בלילה הזה, יהוד ולוד. בלוד זה נגמר בשני הרוגים, אב וביתו, אב בן 52, ביתו בת ה-16. אנחנו רוצים לחזור דווקא לבית, מחוץ לבית ביהוד. הילה אלרועי, את עדיין נמצאת שם? הילה, אם את יכולה לעזור לנו ולשחזר את מה שקרה שם.
כן, אני פה עם דרור הנבון, היא בעצם גרה בבית שספג פגיעה ישירה. את יכולה לספר לנו, סליחה, דקה אחר דקה, מה בעצם קרה?
אוקיי, בשעה 23 בערך שמענו אזעקה, ישנו.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Yiddish, so I couldn't translate it for you. But like I said today, when the woman came up and did her live stream, the Israeli woman, and she turned around and said, "Well, we don't want war." And I turned around and said, "I bet Mossad was chuckling at that little comment you just made, and it really must have ruffled her feathers, because she went and her or one of her mods deleted the comment, banned me off the page, And some people found that quite an amusing comment, and there was no humor meant in it at all. I was being kind of,
tongue in cheek, kind of.
Yeah, I was being a bit facetious.
Kind of being joking around and telling the truth. I mean, either way, she got offended by it, and I did post this up on Facebook, but I do believe that the IDF is just as much of a terror organization as Mossad is. So
absolutely, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
So this is now live.
There are women and children, and that's when I said, we see these things happening, and this is not going to stay within these confines of the Middle East. This is going to be spread out throughout the world, and once that does, this is what's going to weigh on people through they're just, it's going to escalate. And, it's going to tear and wear us down emotionally, physically, spiritually, politically, economically. And, once everything becomes ripe, that is when the false Messiah will come on the scene and bring us peace. That false peace. Remember, when he promises us peace, what does that bring?
When they say peace and safety, peace and security, or peace and safety, that's when sudden destruction comes. What have they been talking about for the last few years? Peace and security. Yeah, that's why all these peace agreements were put into place. Well, I honestly think that they were put into place on purpose, so then they could take it away. It's 3 o'clock. You can bring the total war, right, and then they're going to put it back on the table and say, well, you've just had a little sliver of war, right? Do you want the peace now? Do you want the peace? Because we can bring you the peace. This is a war. This is a war of attrition on all of us. Yeah, what happens in the Middle East has ramifications around the whole world. It is the epicenter of all of this. You can't get away from it.
It's the cradle of civilization, guys. When you think about it, and you read the Bible, I mean, this was the cradle of civilization. So whatever happens here will reach out to everywhere.
Well, it's
yes, Matthew, we know. We've already discussed that. Rewind it and go back to what we started talking about. Yes, yeah. Israel is Satan's land. Absolutely.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly, Nancy. We are living in a time of problem, reaction, solution. And let me pull that up because we have that here for you guys.
Yeah, please do.
Where is it? It is right here. Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. And they have their hand in everything. They cause the problem. They manipulate your reaction through mainstream media, through social media, and then they come in and they ride in on their white horse and they offer us the solution.
Yeah.
Which was what they intended it from the beginning.
Yeah. So when you're sitting there blaming Zionism or blaming communism or blaming any kind of isms, yeah, you got to remember they're constructs. Yeah. What people seem to fail to understand is all of the nations that are going to have conflict with each other are all in collusion with each other. It's the chess pieces that you just showed. Yeah, the chess pieces are moved on the board. You want to find out who owns the board. Well, the board represents the nations of the countries of the world. Yeah, they're all in collusion with each other. Psalms 83 tells you exactly. Yeah, because they're the same nations that colluded to make the true children of Israel a byword, to be in no more remembrance. This whole thing is happening right now because Israel, not this Israel that you're looking at, but the true Israel fell. If Israel hadn't have fallen, yeah, then none of this would be taking place right now. In fact, the situation was quite different up to quite a few centuries ago, right? As I said, history's been rewritten, history's been whitewashed, yeah, not for the reasons you think, yeah, but for the reasons that they know. They have a clear objective. Everything is a fraud. The false Christ, anyone that believes the Shroud of Turin is authentic, yeah, it's all part of the deception to make you believe something that isn't true, so they can do the bait and switch on you, right? To bring their false Messiah, whether it's their Mahdi, whether it's their Sanat, whatever it is they call him, yeah, Sananda, yeah, whether it is their as I said, their Mahdi or their Jewish Messiah or the Christian false Messiah, yeah, not the true Messiah of the scriptures, but the false one that Christianity has been propped up. You've got to remember, the elite own all of it, everything, lock, stock, and barrel, including Christianity, because Christianity is another construct that they created to shift the truth from one position to another position, just slightly left a little bit, yeah, right? To give you a jaded view of the actual truth, which is contained in the scriptures in the Old and New Testament and the 14 books that they removed. The 14 books. If they tell you don't read it, including the Book of Enoch, by the way, yeah, if they tell you don't read it, there's a reason why they don't want you to read it. Because
you cannot sit there and understand that the Roman Catholic Church is evil and still insist that the Book of Enoch is not God inspired, because it is the early Church of Rome, or the early Roman Catholic Church, the Council of Nicaea, the Council of Trent, that removed those books from the Bible, and they are what give us our canon today. Why would you want to read? Why would you want to uphold the canon of a church that you know is satanic? Come on, guys. You know.
Yeah, and you've got to understand as well. They've had several thousand years to move the chairs and tables. Yeah, to move all the artifacts from the heart of where all the biblical places took place and move them into a new region, create the Middle East. The Middle East doesn't even exist. Where's the Middle West and the Middle North and Middle South? There's no such place. It's a construct. Yeah. Right. So all the other countries that are that have been created around it and made to say, well, this is biblical here. Well, that's Babylon there, and that's Syria there. Assyria. They're all nonsense places. Yeah. The true Babylon, right, was somewhere else. Yep. The true land of Israel was somewhere else. Yeah. Assyria was somewhere else. Egypt was a lot bigger. Ethiopia was somewhere else. They shift because listen, when you got an
I'm gonna have to find that video from
this is a whole we'll find them all, but we'll have to play them one day. We'll live stream them, yeah. When you have an empire that's got control of most of the world, the known world at the time. They
control everything. They control the news. They control the making of the maps. They control the GPS. They control the satellites. They control literally, they control every form of any way that we can find out the truth.
Yeah. North America is it is Babylon, but it's part of Babylon. It's not the great Babylon. It is the daughter of Babylon. Yeah, it's part of this unholy trinity. Just like you've got Rome, London, and Washington DC, which are all independent nations, states, countries, part of this unholy trinity.
Right.
Yeah, you know. We've got so I think we need to come back and do some more shows and highlight some of this stuff that we're talking about.
We are back on schedule now. I'm back. I'm done with all my trips. I'm feeling healthy again. I'm feeling good again. I'm done with all of my treatments, and so we will be back. Today's Tuesday. We'll probably be back tomorrow night. I think we should start our regular Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. No, wait, what do we do? Wait, what? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to take Thursday out.
Sunday, Monday, Thursday, I think was our normal.
Yeah, we'll have to take Thursday out of the equation unless we go a little bit later or earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's your night.
My radio show on a Thursday.
Yeah, okay, so we can do Sunday, Mondays, and I don't know.
We can do whenever, because I think this thing is going to escalate to the point where this isn't going to be over in the next couple of days. This is going to be a long, drawn-out thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to result in the destruction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. Yeah, I'd put money on it.
And we're going to have to keep an eye on what's going on in, with Iran, because now they're starting to flex their muscles. I hear now that North Korea is starting he's starting to be a pain in her butt again. So there's a lot of fronts that are coming that have been silence or have been in the background for so long, and now they're coming to the forefront again. And I think things are going to culminate in that area in the next little bit. Yeah. Yes, Linda, this is bugging me. Linda said it's not Yiddish; it was Hebrew.
Hebrew, yeah, but it's not. Let's not get confused. It's not paleo. It's not ancient. It's not ancient Hebrew. It's a different brand of Hebrew. Different brand of Hebrew,
but yeah,
it's modern day Hebrew.
It was a joke when we said Yiddish.
It was a joke. Yeah, sorry. We'll have to put a little warning up when we go back to, and a bit of sarcasm. Like Milton said, he thought the woman was selling a cat and bike on eBay when she was clearing her throat.
Yeah, I found a lot of new people are following me over on Facebook, and not everybody knows my sense of humor. I know a lot of Richard's in the chat room on Facebook right now.
Ancient Paleo Hebrew did not have vowel points.
Right. Richard knows my sense of humor. He's getting it. So yeah, a lot of people know it, but there's a lot of new people that they're like, calm down there, Karen. I'm just joking.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this. Everybody that's watching this broadcast, thank you for watching, but please share it and know this, yeah? I've been saying this for how long now? A year and 18 months now, maybe 2 years. So Linda telling me to be funny with my jokes. Yeah, you know, you really don't want you listen, you don't want me to be funny with my jokes because someone will come find me and rip me leg off and beat me to death with a wet end. Let me tell you that now. Yeah, my time will come. Yeah, but let me tell you, keep your eyes on Israel. Keep your eyes firmly fixed on it. No matter what's happening, keep your eyes on it. Yeah, I've been telling you for a long time now, and I'm unfortunately, I haven't disappointed so far, but not just me. It's not about me. It's all Laurie or anybody particular. It's about what is taking place. It's very important. We have to watch the signs of the times. And now it looks like it's a pivotal point in prophecy.
Absolutely. We're going to keep our eyes peeled. We're going to, you know, watch what's going on. Yeah. So I think that's all we got. A lot to take in. We got a lot to talk about. But I'm sure we'll probably be back tomorrow night if you guys are up for it.
I've got a feeling something's going to be happening. We might be coming on in the day and doing just a rebroadcast, especially of this channel that we've just been playing. We'll actually put that in the description box for you to carry on watching it now. Okay. Yeah. But I've got a feeling that something may happen that escalate tomorrow. That's going to warrant us actually bouncing the transmission off live in the daytime.
Exactly. We just want to let everybody know, if you're watching this over on YouTube, we do have both channels up and running tonight, and that's only because we wanted to bring people. We are only just shy of a little bit over 100 subs on our Global Watchmen 2 Global Watchmen News 2 channel, so that we can start going live from our phones. We have to hit 1,000 subs over there. So that's why we put up Global Watchmen 2 to be broadcasting. And we have quite a few. If we were to put everybody, all of you into one chat room, we would have over 50 people watching. So we want to thank you guys for your support. And we've had over, we've had over 100 and some watching altogether with all three. So we want to thank you guys for your continued support of the page, of the channel. We want to thank our moderators. Robbie, do you have a final word tonight, or do you think we covered everything?
Yeah, I do have a little bit of a final word. Yeah. Well, just a slight one. It was just coming to mind now as we speak. You know, I haven't done a final thought since. I want you people to offer prayers out to these people, right? Yeah. Offer prayers, and I mean offer some prayers out to these people, because they're not only under attack. They have inherited lies on both sides, and they are under spiritual attack right now. We know the plans of the elite. We know the plans of Satan. We know the agenda of the Antichrist. Yeah. We also know the coming of the Son of Man. Yeah. We don't know the hour. We don't know the day. We know the season. Yeah. We know the conditions. Yeah. And we're seeing it take place right before our eyes right now. You need to pray for your family. You need to pray for your friends. You need to pray for these people right now that are losing their lives, and they are not in the truth. They think that whether it's Islam or Judaism, they believe what they believe. Yeah. But without Christ, without salvation, it is going to mean nothing. You need to pray that these people come to the truth, and they come to it quickly, because they have inherited lies, and what is taking place right now is real. It's happening now, and it is as good or as bad as it's going to get, and then it's going to get worse. So I send my prayers out that these people wake up and realize that they are being deceived on every level. And on that thought, that's me done.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers do go out to these people. Not only for the situation that they're in right now, but for their salvation, that they can find salvation through the blood of Christ, and come to that. Because you're right, they have inherited lies, and it's sad. It's sad watching this go on. And we don't like talking about this. We wish we could come on and talk to you guys and joke around and have fun and laugh with you guys. But unfortunately, the times of the world, being a watchman, it puts that pressure on us. To that person that asked if why we're doing this. Well, because we're watchmen. Because we are told to have no association with the darkness, but to expose it. We can't expose it if we hide it. We're no better than the elite of this world if we hide things and we twist things and we don't give you the truth. So we want to thank everybody in our chat rooms. We've got 3 of them going: Exposing Satanic World Government, Global Watchman News, and Global Watchman News 2. We want to thank you guys. I want to thank the moderators in all of our chat rooms for your help and and for everybody for your continued support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. Thanks, Robbie. Thank you to everybody.
No worries, Laurie.
All right. Until next time, guys, eyes open. Keep your eyes up, looking up. No fear.